Welcome back. In this class, we are going to learn another property of sound. That property is known as frequency. Let's think again about ocean waves. Changing the height of the wave controls the amplitude, but the distance between one wave and another, that's the frequency. If we have many waves, that is, waves in 1 second, we'll say it has a high frequency, and that's what we hear as high or sharp frequencies, typical of cymbals, for example. On the other hand, if there are few waves in 1 second, we'll say that it's low frequency. These frequencies are typical in sounds like kick drums, toms, or bass. The unit of measurement that measures how many waves appear in 1 second is called hertz. For example, if a sound has a frequency of 100 waves or cycles per second, we'll say it's a frequency of 100 hertz. Just like in the previous class, when we made the volume oscillate, it was called tremolo. Now, when we oscillate the frequency, it's called vibrato. We can easily hear it if I hold a note on a piano, for example, and play with its frequency. Frequency is very important because it determines the tuning of the instruments. The frequencies of the sound will tell us if they sound good when combined with each other. We'll learn more about this later when we study notes to create melodies. It's also important when composing to distribute the sounds and instruments of our composition across all frequencies. For example, it will be very difficult to make a sound where all its sounds are of low frequencies, and vice versa, a composition with sounds of very high frequencies. As we saw with amplitude, we can also change the frequency of each of the sounds and the executions or beats of that sound. If we go back to the piano roll, we have this basic rhythm of kick and snare and a cymbal on each step. Now I can access their properties, and this time we'll change the frequency of each note. The property is known as pitch. Very well, let's select some sounds to change their frequency, some up and some down. Sounds interesting, right? We can also make changes of several notes in a staggered manner to achieve effects as if we were going up or down. Combined with what you already know about polyrhythm, artificial divisions, and velocity changes, you have all the necessary tools to create truly interesting rhythms. The important thing is to practice and exercise your curiosity and creativity. Before we finish the class, let's see what happens if I use a piano. I'm placing all the sounds linearly as we would with percussion, but if I raise or lower the frequency, let's see what happens. Interesting, isn't it? We'll come back to this later when we get to the musical notes class. In the meantime, you have homework. Investigate within your music production software how you can change the frequency of each sound and your overall instrument. That's all for this class, and see you in the next lesson.